I have to admit, I haven't done the scholarly research on this part, but years ago, I don't even remember now who it was, someone mentioned that the Syrophoenician story was really a metanoia experience for Jesus, and that he came into, according to Mark anyway, he came into his ministry not intending to minister to anyone other than the people of Israel. And it was this woman who caused him to think, hey, well, maybe my reason to be here is broader than that. And it was right after this, like you mentioned, Joanna, that he then goes and has healing. He specifically goes into a big Gentile territory, and there's a healing. So that's my take on this. So I'll start with the Syrophoenician and then story, and then go to the one that comes after that. Now after this, Jesus departed. And he went all the way to the region of Tyre. He entered a house, and he didn't want anyone to know he was there. But he could not escape notice, because immediately a woman whose little daughter was possessed by an unclean spirit heard about him. And she came to him and she fell down at his feet. Now this woman was a Gentile of Syrophoenician birth, and yet she begged him to cast the demon out of her daughter. Jesus replied, "Let the children be fed first. It's not right to take the children's food and throw it to the dogs." And the woman replied, "Sir, even the dogs under the table eat the children's crumbs." Jesus replied, "Because you have said this, you may go. The demon has left your daughter." And the woman went home, and she found her little daughter lying on the bed. And the demon was gone. Meanwhile, Jesus, he returned from Tyre, and he made his way through Sidon on his way to the Sea of Galilee, into the region of the Decapolis, the 10 Gentile cities. And they brought to him a man who was deaf and had an impediment in his speech. And they begged him to lay his hand upon the man. So Jesus took the man aside in private, away from the crowd. And he put his fingers in his ears. And then he spat and touched the man's tongue. And looking up into heaven, he sighed deeply. And said to the man, "Ephphatha," which means be opened. And immediately the man's ears were opened, his tongue was released, and he started to talk plainly. Now, Jesus told the crowd, he ordered them not to say anything about this to anyone, but the more he ordered them, the more zealously they proclaimed it, because they were astonished beyond measure, saying, this guy can do all things well. He even makes the deaf to hear.